Okay. Looking pretty stable. Pop that out. Oh. I don't expect this to be popping off all that much this week. Got a couple, various, multiple other streams from other larger channels going on at the moment. So I would be surprised to see too many people in here right now. Damn you, Greg. But what's up, everybody? How's everybody's well, I was about to say Sunday. Saturday going. How's everybody's Saturday going so far? Got a couple people in here already. DJ, welcome. Your reaction to the show Dark, which is a German show, is a wee bit eerie. I've also seen the show, and it gets more crazy by the time it hits its third season. I'm really loving it, man. I have no idea where it's going to go from here, because it's already pretty nuts. But with the way they're playing around with all these multiple timelines, man, it's kind of crazy. I can only imagine it's just going to start boiling my brain. Hope Shazam is part of the DCU. Zachary Levi said it all depends on the box office or the audience reaction to the movie. Audience reactions have been mostly positive. Like I said in my review, I loved the movie. I really did. Was it perfect? Hell no. But I don't, if a movie entertains me, if it grips me emotionally from beginning to end, I don't give a shit if it's got a little bit choppy editing, or maybe if it goes on a little too long, or if the villains might be a little underridden. I had a damn good time. I laughed, smiled, cried through the entire damn thing, man. I had a blast with it. So I hope it does well. It's not boding well at the moment. Word of mouth is what we can really hope right now, but the way with DC's so fractured, there's already like a community against not even just the DCEU, but just against James Gunn and his leadership, even though he had nothing to do with this movie, other than some little tweaks, I guess, for the post-credit scenes or cameos and stuff like that to make things coherent. But the DC fandom is just a really weird place right now, and I don't know what it wants. Because you got a loud majority, not even majority, a loud, what I would assume to be minority, with influenced by the power of botting, who are rallied behind a single director that had a single vision, who has kind of backed away from that seemingly for some time. But I don't understand, though, now that's all put into question with that transmission teaser for April that Zack Snyder put out not too long ago, like just a few days ago. So like, I have no idea what the fuck is going on. And no matter what, right now, it's just in shambles. And I honestly don't know, even if we get good movies, I don't even know if the DC films outside of the standalone stuff will ever stand on their own feet again. What's up, Larson? Howdy, man. How you doing? What's up, Ella? How are you? Welcome. Stixie, how you doing? Druid, welcome. Everything's going well over here, guys, so far. Yes, D&D tomorrow. Got my and it's all thanks to you, man. If you didn't like persist, I probably wouldn't have my tickets for tomorrow. But yeah, I'm seeing it tomorrow at 2. Where would you rate Shazam on the movie tier list of this year? I haven't seen it yet. Like, on a tier list, I'd give it an A. I think it's an A. Like, if I include, like, S. Because I always, like, have an S in there. So, like, it's definitely an A minus for me. It's definitely my favorite superhero movie that I've seen this year. That's for sure. I'm in Berlin for vacation, so pretty good. Oh, that sounds fun. I need to visit my family over in Germany one of these days, just as an excuse to actually go to Europe, man. What did you think of The Flash this week? I thought it was fun, but it is not something I want in a final season, so I was very conflicted about it. I thought the episode was harmless. I thought it was cute. It was entertaining. It was dumb as hell. The writers forgot how Crisis works, for another thing. The writing was not great, but it was entertaining. It was kind of funny. But again, this is the final season of The Flash, and I understand we can't have the leads in every episode because they have stuff baked into their contracts. They have time off that they're required to have, and possibly they were probably even, due to scheduling and stuff, possibly shooting future episodes where they're needed more. I get all that. But none of this feels like it's building up towards the final season. None of it feels relevant to what's going on. We've seen better interlude episodes in the past, but it's whatever. Like, it could have been something else, but I don't know. I laughed. Having Becky Sharp was fun. She's a very interesting character, and it's a good thing she was dead before Crisis, because thinking about it after the fact, they could have just recruited her to fight the Anti-Monitor and probably would have just won without losing anybody. Her power's overpowered, dude. What's up, Dennis? Doing pretty good. How about you? What's up, Tom? I love those minimalist logos, man. That's a schmexy looking logo right there. What's up, Sabersmith? Doing well, doing well. In my opinion, the Caitlyn thing is worse than the Sarah thing, because at least Sarah still technically alive, but Caitlyn is gone and nobody cares. Yeah, that's the only major plot that moved forward. I wish we kind of maybe just focused on that, the Keone thing. But yeah, I don't know about that. I mean, like, we still kinda have Sarah, kinda, but I think they just as much brushed by the fact that the one we grew up with just got obliterated, and nobody seems to give a shit. But yeah, I don't know. That one still annoys me to this day. What's up? Let's see. Did you see what Zack Snyder posted on his Twitter? I did. I just talked about it. His little save the date message from Lord Darkseid thing. Which some people have said think it's some kind of like SnyderCon thing. And I don't know. We don't really have a clue what it is. But I would be remiss if it's anything about building off of that world or continuing it. Some people are speculating about some kind of like SnyderCon or something like that for him and his films. I don't know. We'll wait and find out. No. You never know anymore, man. I have no idea, dude. What's up, Sketch? Behind you is the Jurassic Park poster. Did you already see the movie? Yeah. Yeah, I saw it a long time ago. that's the first movie I think I ever saw in a theater. 1993, my guy. I've seen it quite a few hundred times, I would say, by this point. And I love the book. It's my favorite movie of all time. I've seen everything on this wall. I wouldn't have the poster if I hadn't seen the movie. Because that's just weird. I know what the mystery villain on Superman and Lois is, and I believe it. There's no believing it is onomatopoeia. Has the power of sound and uses it as a weapon. That's the thing, though. That's why I was confused. Onomatopoeia doesn't have powers. Like, the comic book version has never been a meta. So that's why I was thrown off. I was like, wait a second. What is going on? Because it seemed more hallucinatory, but it seems like this version may be the first meta in this universe because, again, last season confirmed this world has no metas. The only meta or something similar is people given powers by XK or Kryptonians. That's what they told us last season. So my big old question is, whatever these experiments are going on with Bruno Mannheim, is he creating metas in this timeline? But that's an interesting choice, though. I like that more creatively than the onomatopoeia in the comics, who just talks in onomatopoeias. They're just a normal stab, stab, shoot, shoot serial killer in the comic. Like, they don't have powers. So now whatever they enunciate, they can kind of make happen. So those oral distractions were really interesting, and the lack of bullets from the bang, bang, bang shots that Onomatopoeia made did kill. So it was pretty interesting. It's a nice twist on an old, not even old. This villain came out in the mid 90s, early 90s, maybe late 80s. I can't remember exactly. They are a recent addition. I mean, Kevin Smith created the character, so the character's not that old. The guy fighting Superman, episode 3, I think he's Captain America. He even says, "I can do this all day." Superman's fighting Superman. I guess he's the opposite of that, though. But yeah. What's up, Tom? Glad you enjoyed the movie. Our theater closed a few weeks ago, so I'll have to wait and see if it goes on HBO Max. It should, whenever it does hit it. But I hope you enjoy it, though. I know it's going to be mixed for everybody. I know everybody's not going to enjoy the same stuff, but hopefully it does, because I found it really beautifully wholesome. I think it's a really beautiful, fun superhero family film, man. I really do. That's what I loved about the first one, too. I'm sure you already know about Lance Reddick's death. So sad it is. I know, man, and with John Wick right around the corner, that's going to be emotional, man. And it's sad, too, because we were going to see more of him, too, in The Legend of Vox Machina, because he was the voice of Thordak as well, and his voice is so chilling, so commanding, and he just seems like a very warm person, man, and it's a sad, sad piece of news. Likewise, we don't know how much longer we're going to have Sam Neill when he just came forward about having stage 3 blood cancer. You know, he said he doesn't fear death, but he's not going to stop living because of it, which is just sad, because like we just talked about, Jurassic Park's one of my favorite movies of all time, so that's some sad news right there for me. So that's just kind of like a countdown moment. Yeah, man. And Heather, thank you for the super chat. Thank you. In case I can't catch the whole stream, sending good weekend vibes. Well, you could have done that without having to spend money, but I do appreciate it, because all that goes right back into the channel. I love you guys. Thank you so much for that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But yeah, if you can't stay the whole time, don't fret. You know, as always, next week, your guys' lives are much more important in the day-to-day, in the long run. So do what you need to do. Take care of what you need to take care of. I lost my spot. Here we go. What's up, Sean? It's so weird that because a lot of the D&D press screenings aren't until next week. Really? That's kind of interesting. I know some people have seen it even before this. There's been some people that have already seen it, because I've seen some people talk about already giving reviews on it. So it's kind of weird to me how they have these releases panned out for it. Do you think Guardians 3 will break $1 billion? I mean, possibly, but I would have to say I'm a little skeptical right now, but possibly. John Wick Chapter 4 is going to hit hard after Lance's death. Exactly. So I think I echoed that sentiment just now. I agree, man. Let's see. I've seen the first episode of Gotham Knights, and it's not bad. I do give it a 5 out of 10. I've heard a lot of people say it's not as bad as they expected, that it has potential, but if I covered that show right now, that's 4 shows that come out all on the same night. So I'm not doing it, man. Not right now, at least. I know you have a review up for it, but 1 out of 10, what do you rate Shazam 2? I give it like an 8, 8.5. I think. The Last of Us was crazy. Yes, it was. It's phenomenal. So good. Like I said, I only had some minor critiques. It seems to be a very common one. and one that they've taken to heart and are going to address in the next season, so that's good enough at least. But yeah, I'm excited. See what they do. Is The Flash still good? I stopped watching during the Mirror Master season. Felt like the show's just gone downhill a lot since the start. The best of the show is well behind it by where you stopped. Like, even I'm still watching just as a fan of the universe and just to see how it comes to an end. There have been some really good episodes here and there sprinkled in through like the later seasons, but overall it's been very hit or miss. And there's been more misses than not overall. But like I said, I don't take it too seriously. I know what it is now, and I kind of just like tune in to have fun and turn my brain off a lot of the time. So even if it is some crappy writing or some goofy shit most of the time, as long as it's something enjoyable, I'll come out of it okay. But it's not, I definitely don't believe the show's at anywhere near the quality that it used to be. Hell, even the running sequences look better going back and actually looking at like seasons 1 through 3, especially like season 3. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe just tune in for the final arc. Might be the best bet. Just tune in for the final arc. I think you might just, it might be worth it. I think the final arc is going to be fun because I've seen like set leaks and stuff already for it, and it's if you haven't seen it, I'm not going to say what it is, and please, if you have seen it, don't put it in the chat or I will kick you out of here. There's some fun stuff coming. If they somehow still manage to mess this up, Eric Wallace just needs to stop doing television. That's all I gotta say. If he somehow finds a way to mess this up, he just needs to go away. Just stop it. Imagine 9/6 was centric around Jay and Bart, and Jay trains Bart, and maybe they have a small team up. That could have been fun, but again, you gotta wonder about timing, casting, scheduling, because I don't think Bart's in the rest of the season, from what I've heard. But I don't know. We'll see. Thank you for your positive Shazam review. Looking forward to seeing it soon now. I would love to know what everybody thinks. Like, once you've seen it for yourself, hit up my video or pop in the Discord and just head to our Shazam spoiler channel, and I'd love to know what everybody else is feeling about it. I feel like most people are going into this pretty fun and having a damn good time for the most part. What's up, Tomato? Welcome, man. Hope you're nice and saucy today. Let's see. I'm seeing a lot of talk about people enjoying enjoying BB more than Mando? BB. Book of Boba Fett? Well, hold on, BB. Hold on. Why is my brain not working? Bad Batch. God. I was like, what is BB? I don't know. I was like, dude, I think Mando has nailed it. I don't know what people, I can't fathom what people's expectations are out of this show anymore, man. I just can't. I don't understand, because I thought episode 1, 2, and 3 just kept getting better. I don't know, man. But that said, I enjoy both. I think these 3 episodes of Mando so far are more intriguing than most of Bad Batch this season, though. You know, Omni, you're one of the only people who says my name right. Awesome. I'll take credit for that. That was me, my personal account. Wait, what was you? What was you, Tomato? What did you do? This is what happens when I don't remember what I'm talking about. I'm actually excited for 9/7 because we got the return of Dreamer. Yeah, I knew Dreamer was coming back, but I didn't know when. Guys, no spoilers. God, please. How do people... that's not for me. Anyways, I can only stay for a minute. Might join back later, but I'll see you. Take it easy. Also, we might get Thawne's origin story, so that's why Matt is returning. I don't know. Again, I don't know if that's public knowledge, so I'm going to have to read your stuff before I click on it, because I think that's all leaks. But stop, or I'll kick you out. I don't think that's confirmed anywhere. Let's see. On this final season of The Flash, they reference the forces with Keon. I think she is the nature force. Well, that's not one of the forces, though. Like, we've seen all of the forces. Now, what I was positing was that she might be one of the greater elemental energies. That it's not a force, like the red, the green, the white, the black, the blue, and all of that, but there's not one that matches up with what is happening, so I don't know what exactly they're doing, but as far as I know, there is no nature force. We've seen the forces, all of them, so far, that exist, so unless they create one or make one up, there's no reference in the comics that I could find just yet. What's up, J-Molds? Saw Shazam in 4D yesterday. Some of the trailers were also in 4D. Super Mario Brothers was surprisingly aggressive. More so than The Flash and John Wick. Really? Interesting. Where do you think Mando is going with this season? It's a good question. I don't really know yet. I think a lot of people are speculating that it has something to do with Thrawn, which is kind of the overarching thing that everything seemingly is going to be building up towards. Whoever it is has a grudge against the people that stabbed them in the back. So I think right now it's Gideon, and I think Gideon might have his own connection to Thrawn. But I think it's all building towards Gideon's return, his grudge against everybody that had a hand in his capture, the technology that they've been working on and building, which is why they specifically targeted Pershing in this episode, so we'd see how he's got his own plants within the New Republic that are still loyal to him. Like Elia. Like, that's all. That connects to the main plot, the primary plot from the entire show so far, which is another reason why, God, it pains me to see people misuse the term filler, misuse the term subplot, because this has been the main plot for the entire show. So, I don't know. And like, I'm pretty sure Giancarlo Esposito is still on the cast list for this season, so I gotta imagine we're building up in some way to that. And I think one of the other plots that's going to be going on is also the reclamation of Mandalore, but I think whatever's going on in Mandalore might also coincide with something that Gideon has been operating, because somehow he ended up with the Darksaber, somehow he knows, he's alluded to knowing about some goings-on Mandalore that the others don't know about. I don't know. I think there's something that are linking all of these threads together. We just can't see it yet. 1993, that's old. I was 5 years old when I saw that movie. So yes. Let's see. For the final season of The Flash, I really wasn't hoping for an episode like one we got this week. After a while, I did get a little bored from this episode. Agreed. So I watched Gotham Knights and I'm upset because I liked it. Interesting. You still have that Darth Revan lightsaber that used to be in the background. Where did you get it from? Yeah, I do. It's right in front of the mask. You can still, well, I mean, with the lighting, it's not easy to see, but it's right there. Like, you can see it in camera. It's right there. Right under the mask. But I got it, where did I get it? I think I ordered that one off of Amazon because it's the Hasbro one. It's the official Black Series Revan lightsaber, which they stopped producing, but there's a re-release of it that I think is coming out, which I think is either out now or on pre-order again. So they've re-released this saber. So if you're, you should be able to get it. If not now, if soon, once they come around in here. And guys, if you enjoy the stream, if you're hanging out, having a good time, make sure to like the stream. It really helps us out. Since The Last of Us ended a few days ago, what do you think about it? I still love it. I think it's great. Again, I still have my same qualms with it, but they're not big ones, big enough to hamper my enjoyment of the show. I'm really itching to go through the games again. So I'm excited, man. I thought they did a really good job. Really good job. It's hands down the best video game adaptation we've ever got. Do you think there'll be anything like the Arrowverse ever again, or do you think that it was a one-of-a-kind thing? I mean, there's a possibility. I mean, the closest thing we'll have to that will be the DCU moving forward. But I don't know. The Mandoverse could branch off into its own thing, but it's an extension of an existing IP and canon to that IP. So, I don't know. Probably not. Not in this way, that's for sure. Not in the same way that it existed, so probably not, though. Let's see. What DCU project are you most excited for me? For me, it's definitely Lanterns, and I can totally see Tom Cruise as Hal Jordan, but I don't think they'll go with him. What did I say? What all was there again? Swamp Thing. Superman and Swamp Thing, I think, are the DCU projects proper that I'm the most excited for. Gotham Knights feel like it's a low budget, though. First episode is still kind of a mess. They reveal 5 twists in the first episode. What? Alright. Do I believe in ghosts or the paranormal? I do. Because I've seen some shit. I have seen some shit. I don't understand why some people think Joel was wrong for saving Ellie. Because it's the right answer to say. The right answer is he should want to save people. He should understand that it's not his choice or his place. But we would all do the same thing. If we were all Joel, if our daughter or whatever was put in that position and we knew these people against their will without any consent whatever are going to kill your child, I'm sorry, you're murking those people. You just can't say that. That's not the polite PR public way to talk about it. Everybody wants to take the high and mighty road, but whether it's right or wrong, we'd all do it. So I don't give a shit what people say. Yeah. They assume she was okay. But yeah. Like I said in the live stream with Team JVS, I was like, if you mess with me or mine, no matter what high roads I believe in, like I can be like, all humanity, we could save everybody. What is one life versus all these others? You know, the lives of the many outweigh the lives of a few, or whatever the line is. I'm sorry, but if you want to fuck with me and mine, I will Aaron Yeager your entire world. Do you like Skittles? I used to. I'm not a huge fan of it these days. I haven't had Skittles though in a really, really long time. Scream 6 is better than Scream 2. I definitely don't think so, but I did enjoy Scream 6 quite a lot. It is my 3rd favorite Scream movie now. However, though, in retrospect, the farther I get away from it, I think Scream 4 is sliding back into my number 3, though. My infatuation with Scream 6, while I do love everything they did, I do think they're all great, I think it's sliding down my list. Is there a theory you've ever had to a TV show that you're so confident of and then it turned out to be wrong? Yeah. And it's one that still pisses me off to this day because the only reason it's wrong is because they literally changed their plan. And that is that Superman Lois is in the Arrowverse. And that wasn't even a theory. It was fact. And then they're like, nah, we're going to change it. We're going to change it. Let's see. Other than that, I can't really think of one, to be honest. A different one. So, do you have True Detective Season 1 on your watch list? I hope to see you react to it soon. I do not. But you never know. Soon? Definitely not. One day? Maybe. 2, they get Ellie and do some tests. A few hours later, they're ready to take her out. Like, that's the way too rushed. Who says it would even work? I doubt they'd make a cure available for everyone. See, this is the problem I have with talking about the finale, is because I know things they haven't revealed yet. So, I'm not going to say anything, but season 2 and the part 2 of the game show you some different angles. But regardless, I don't fault Joel for what he did at all. As horrible as it is what it is. Thanks to the whole OGL stuff, I'm going to ignore the D&D movie. That's fair enough, even though they backtracked the hell out of it. They actually fixed it in response to all of it. But D&D is D&D, man. If we want any kind of D&D stuff, I'm going to support it. So yeah, as a D&D person, I am 1000% going to be there for it. The OGL stuff is just OGL stuff. I don't care. Like, what they did was a little shitty, a little shady. I understand why they did it. I understand the perspective that they were going for. It was just a little underhanded. But they backpedaled, and they backpedaled hard. And made an agreement with everybody that is much more pleasing and a lot more helpful for people running the old system. So, hey, they did the right thing in the end. Whether or not it was by their own volition or not, I don't care. But it's not like Wizards of the Coast has ever been like the primo example of how to run a company, though. But yeah, the D&D movie, I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. It's the movie I am most looking forward to this year. Fuck The Flash. Fuck Guardians 3. Fuck everything else. I want to see this D&D movie. Can we expect a reaction for Creed 3? That is why I don't have a review yet. If you watched my Creed reactions, that's the plan. That is the plan. Let's see. I think it's coming to Amazon eventually. I think it's supposed to land on Amazon Prime. But I don't know. I don't know when. It's not on there yet, at least. Well, they do have, like, the pre-order stuff, early release stuff. You pay like $20 to watch it, but I don't see it on here yet. I mean, it's still pretty fresh. But I'm keeping an eye out, because once it hits Amazon, I'm going to be reacting to it. My hype for John Wick 4 is like the anticipation of going to a kick-ass rock concert. It looks perfect. I can't wait. I cannot wait to see John Wick 4, man. I really can't. When was the last concert I went to? I think the last I can't remember which one came first or last. It was the last like main label concert that I've been to was either Cher or Korn. I can't remember. I think it was Cher. Was after the Korn concert, but I can't remember which. Both was while I was in high school, so they were both like 2004 to 2000. It was 2002 to 2006 is wherever those ones came out in. Cannot remember, because that's when I became a fan of Cher. Because I got dragged to that with my mom, because originally my stepsister was supposed to go with her to it, and she got sick and couldn't go. So I went, and that's when I became a huge Cher fan, because it was awesome. That whole concert was insane. But yeah, the Korn one was wild too, man. They were great live. Godsmack, also great live. I haven't been to many concerts though. I would love to see Sadie Sink in Scream 7. That would be awesome. I would totally be down for that. I wanted Last of Us to be longer. I mean, I thought it was fine. I think I wanted more Joel and Ellie, and like I talked about, I still wanted some more moments that made the world feel dangerous. You know, more presence of the infected and stuff like that. But I like what they did. Yeah, I think it would have. I think it would have benefited from at least 1 or 2 more episodes. Back, where did you get that cool ass shirt? Hot Topic. Did you like Savitar from The Flash? He's a very mixed villain, and I want to know your thoughts on him. I liked Savitar a lot. It's a villain of Barry's own creation and his own ignorance of the timelines and stuff like that, and I liked that a lot. I sympathized a lot with Savitar. I thought he was badass, and the reveal of his identity I also really liked. I was honestly shocked because I didn't have this channel. I wasn't like tuned in to like the media reactions and stuff to everything at the time. But I was shocked to learn like retroactively how many people did not like season 3, because I really did like it. Hell, I like season 4 fair amount, but it's definitely a step down from 3 for me. But my favorite season's the first, my second favorite's the second, my third favorite's the third, and then the fourth, and it's almost like a countdown, except you can skip over Cicada, because Cicada ruined that entire fucking season. Just looking forward to making fun of Gotham Knights like I did for 7 minutes. Fair enough. What's up, Tice? Thais. I'm trying to make sure I'm saying it right again. So Shazam 2 better than the first one for me. I did. I liked it. I liked it a lot better than the first one. And I loved the first one. A lot. You could make the argument, and I can make the argument as well, and I would probably agree. I think the first film might be a better movie on like a technical level, but I enjoyed the second one way more, and I personally connected to the storyline for Billy in the second one more. While the first one is sad, it is truly heart-wrenching. This is one that I personally connected with, what he was experiencing and going through, and that struggle and that confusion on how to deal with it. I related to that a lot, so it probably helps. But I love how they upped the scale a lot of it. I love the family dynamic of it, and I love the Greek element of it. Even if they didn't go into it too much, or that they weren't too fleshed out, I still really enjoyed just the broadening of the world, because the first one did feel very tightly contained, and I liked what they did with it. I like the post-credit scenes. So, do I like adult cartoons like Family Guy, South Park, etc.? Dude, I used to watch an ungodly amount of Family Guy until it got old. Like I do not find it entertaining anymore. Like, there's some clips that I go back on that still make me laugh and stuff, but like, after a while, after I don't know how many seasons it took for me to break on it, it's a long time. I've seen every episode of South Park. I love South Park. I haven't seen the most recent specials, or I think even the latest season yet. I can't remember which COVID special was the last one we saw. I don't remember. But yeah, I've been a huge South Park fan for a long time. I watched like 2 seasons of Rick and Morty before the fandom made me just too disgusted in watching the show ever again that I just stopped watching it. Like, I was so sick and tired of it because of the fandom that I couldn't stomach watching it anymore. You know, the Harley Quinn show, love that to death. Yeah, I love a lot of adult cartoons. Like The Legend of Vox Machina is one of my favorite TV shows of all time right now, and it's an adult cartoon. BB Bad Batch, that's what I think we landed on. What's up, chat? Think you'll react to any of the upcoming Walking Dead shows? I'm still very on the fence. The Rick and Michonne one, like I talked about in the finale of this main show, I'm going to follow up on that, because I need to know where Rick is and what Rick's been up to. The Rick stuff I will probably react to. The stuff I'm not so sure about is the Daryl Dixon spinoff or the Negan and Maggie spinoff. I don't know. I'm not into following all of these fucking spinoffs. Like, I don't know. I just feel like that's just such a weird power move for them to try to drag this whole thing out. I'll watch the Rick and Michonne thing, and I'll probably stay. I don't know. We'll see. We'll play it by ear. Negan, again, still my favorite character, but I don't think that's enough to make me watch that spinoff. But we'll see. What's my most anticipated movie coming out this year? For me, it's Across the Spider-Verse. I know I went on that tangent and tirade, I think, before this came, or after this came in, but I'm just now getting to your question. But the D&D movie, the D&D Honor Among Thieves, which I'm seeing tomorrow. So after tomorrow, that might be I might have a different answer because I will have now crossed that off my list. Update: the cookies are good. Hell yeah. Haven't seen Bad Batch yet. We agree about Mando though. Loving it. Hell yeah. I can agree with him lying at the end. It's a great choice. And saving, I don't feel that way at all. But hey, to each their own. I enjoy the show overall, aside from the common criticisms I agree with. See, the lying is where I draw the line. The line is where I'm like, okay, now Joel's wrong. Now I'm not okay with what Joel did. I don't agree with him lying to Ellie, though I understand why he did. I agree with everything that he did from a personal standpoint at the hospital. But lying to her about it, I don't. The new Jonathan does a good job. I think he feels like Jonathan from the second season. It does seem like he's trying to emulate Jordan's performance. So it's just gotta get used to seeing a new face here. But yeah, he's all right. He's doing an okay job so far. I think Keon is the life force. Again, like I said, that's not a force. They're as far as I know, unless they changed it. I guess you're right. But they weren't included in the Force War, which is odd to me. That's weird. Yeah, they were just randomly included after the Force War. That's weird. God damn it. DC. Yeah, you can. Well, it's not the same tab. It's the same window. So even if I change tabs, it still goes in there. It's not a dump. Fuck you. Leave me alone. All right, so maybe Life Force, but that's such a contradiction. I don't know. This doesn't make the power set doesn't line up either. The domain of the life force doesn't add up to what we've seen so far either. I haven't started watching a small but awesome Scottish reactor. He asks for fake spoilers in the comments so he can't tell what is an actual spoiler. That's smart. That is very smart. Actually, I might have to incorporate that. That is a good idea. So even when somebody does become a dick and try to spoil something, you don't know if it's fake one or not. That's a really smart move. But that puts a lot of earnestness on the chat, on the commenters to play along. But I'm sure people would have fun with that, actually. Just got here, so I'm sorry if you already answered this question, but am I reacting to Gotham Knights? No, I'm not. I've made that decision a long time ago. I've brought that up. I mean, I think you're pretty recent to the streams and stuff, but it's something I've talked about quite a bit. I'm just not going to. Am I watching my own time? If I end up really enjoying it, maybe I'll post it or something like that. But I'm not even starting it right now. It's just the fact that it's dropping Tuesdays, it makes it just impossible to watch for me right now. What do you think about Kang being the next big bad of the MCU based on what you've seen so far? I mean, if he becomes more of a threat than he was in Ant-Man, then hell yeah, let's go. They put Robin in Gotham Knights. I'm aware. We do have a Robin in Gotham Knights. It was in the original lineup. In the original trailer, we got one. When Last of Us series came out, I decided to play the games first before I watched it. I don't know if that's the right way to go, but I would recommend if you've never played the games, probably to watch the show and then play the game and see how you feel about it. But I'm curious, I don't know. What did you think about it? What did you think about the game if you, like, in comparison? I'm curious. Have I seen Gotham Knights? No. I enjoyed the Red Death arc, but most annoying thing is we don't know what happened to Batwoman. Yeah, that was dumb as hell. The fact that they were like, she's gone, what happened? And then she's like, oh yeah, guys, I guess I got lost. A GPS turned off and I got lost. That was so annoying. What's up, Daniel? I'm doing all right. Did you have a good St. Patty's Day? It was all right. I didn't really do anything. Do much, just kind of hung out. Took some naps. Worked. That's another thing. Watching some Critical Role. We don't have an established villain in Mando yet. We'll speculate, however. I think that's why some don't like it. Personally, I like the world building. I like all of it. I don't need to know who it is. I think it's quite clearly building up to Gideon. I mean, he was name dropped in this episode as well. And his left hand, his right hand killed Pershing, or fried Pershing's brain. So it very much seems like, who else would it be? But is he the big bad? I don't know yet. But he's definitely coming. Germany doesn't have HBO Max, so I haven't seen The Last of Us finally. How would you rate it out of 10? 9.5. 9.5. Did I wear green yesterday? I did. Because I recorded my Shazam review on St. Patty's Day, which I wore my my Star City Archery Club shirt, which is green. Girl, I'm just glad Ruby Rose wasn't Red Death because I would have had to head out. I wouldn't mind it because I thought Ruby Rose did fine. I liked Ruby Rose. For me, my favorite season of Batwoman is still the first season. But I acknowledge it's probably not the best season, but it's my favorite season. It's the only season that I really cared about, like, every bit of it. Let's see. 3 episodes left for Bad Batch. Might be the best of the season. We crossing our fingers. MCU started course correcting with the pushbacks this year. Now only Loki Season 2 and Secret Wars are coming out, and whatever the Halloween special are this year. Yeah, there's those rumors circulating about a Mephisto special presentation coming out. I wonder if that's true, if that's like the Halloween special this year. I've not seen Shazam, Fury of the Gods. It will be very difficult for me, but I got to build up to the Flash. I hate Mary. She is pathetic for so many reasons. She offends me. What the fuck? What are you talking? What? Mary, like Mary Marvel, like Mary and Shazam. Why? This is a completely different version from what was in the comics or anything else. I mean, Mary's great in both movies, so to each their own, but fuck, kind of weird. Now The Last of Us has ended. What video game series would you like to see adapted next? Well, we got BioShock on the way from Netflix. We've got God of War Ragnarok. Well, we got the God of War reboot. So God of War 4 and God of War Ragnarok are being adapted by Amazon. We got Paramount's shitty Halo show, which still hurts my soul. I would love to see a Resident Evil series taken as seriously as this. Dude, if you could get a crazy budget, because it's already hard as hell to follow as a player, would be like a Destiny show. Like, if you could do that on the topic of Lance Reddick, who played Commander Zavala, that could be really fun. A great way to get into the lore of it all. Metal Gear, that's a complicated ask, but Metal Gear could be great. Metal Gear's a great one. Yeah, I think those are the best ones those are the top ones I would probably go with right now off the top of my head. Still waiting on that Ghost of Tsushima movie. Yeah, Metal Gear would be really good, actually. Like, I mean, that's been in development hell for years, but we could see. Nothing beats Scream 1 and 2. Did you know that Jensen Ackles almost played Batman on Gotham Knights? I think he was shooting The Boys at the time, so he couldn't do it. I did read about that. But now he didn't have to be in it to get killed off. I don't know. Might be a win-win. Scream 2 is my least favorite in the franchise. Well, we are on opposite ends of the spectrum. I don't remember if you're the one we've talked about this before or not. I can't remember. I think you are. Yeah, Chosen, right? Anyway. Yeah, you know where I stand on it. You know you're just doing this to come at me, because Scream 2 is my favorite in the franchise. And it's great. And every way. I don't see saving Ellie was wrong or right thing to do, just understandable thing to do. There's where you go. What's your favorite TV show growing up? Was it on Nick or Cartoon Network? Ugh. Probably Power Rangers, and that was on Fox. I would say Power Rangers, but that would be on Fox. If we're talking cartoons, my favorite cartoon growing up was probably Angry Beavers or Rugrats. So Nick probably had that one in the bag. Have I seen Severance? I've not. I've heard really good things about that, but I've not seen it yet. Have you seen You, or is it just at least on my watch list? I have not seen it, and it is definitely one I would consider watching one day. Apat said the killing Ellie to save the world won't work, so there. Fair enough. Hugh Grant is in the D&D movie. Think be good villain. I hope so. Hugh Grant's great. You think Dr. Irons from Superman Lois is in on the experimentation on people, and do you think Kyle is going to eventually get accepted to JHI or Lana together? I don't know. I think they'd be cute together. I do think they'd be cute together. As far as Kyle accepting that, ooh, that's gonna be tough, man. That's a tough position to be in, so I don't know. But as far as Dr. Irons being in on the experimentation, I don't know. What if she have her brother killed? I don't know if she'd be in on it if that was the case, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But I'm not leaning that direction yet. What would you say your top 3 movies of 2022? I think you mean 2023 so far. Otherwise, I have a top 10 video for last year. Let's see, what all have I seen this year that came out this year? I mean, the first 2023 movie I saw was Ant-Man. So I haven't even really seen a lot. What the hell? Honestly, it's probably Shazam, Scream 6, and Megan. Probably right now. Nothing beats The Flash. Well, it's all subjective, man. We'll be doing a reaction to Cocaine Bear. I'm not really planning on it right now. Can't believe The Flash is almost ending soon. I know. It's sad, man. Long running. It's been a long road, man. RIP to Lance Reddick from the John Wick movies, American Gods, and VAs from Zavala of Destiny series, and Thordak from The Legend of Vox Machina. Yeah, man. That was sad news. Finally watched all the Clone Wars this week, and now I have some homework of catching up on Rebels next. Hell yeah. Rebels is a little bit of a different beast, especially early on, but it really starts to find its stride in I think like the second and third season. I watched Creed. Hell yeah. Did you ever watch Babylon 5? I think we talked about this. I've still not seen Babylon 5. There was an episode regarding ghosts coming back to talk to people, giving them closure, warn them of the future, etc. It was co-written by Neil Gaiman. That's interesting. What is this? It's interesting. That's not something I would have expected to hear about from that show. But yeah. You still haven't finished those COVID South Park specials yet. Yep. Alright, Daniel, you're done. Nope. Yeah, I'm sorry. That one is a big old no. That's fucked up, man. Hold on. I think I accidentally banned him from the channel, though. Rather than timed out. Okay. All right, good. It didn't. I undid it. God. If you really do, you should really do a room if you ever have time, because I thought your room looked so cool. Collectibles and items you have. I did one and I didn't like how it turned out, so I need to re-record my little, like, here's all the shit in my office. Say it with me. We love Omni. Oh, thank you guys. Make sure to like this video. If you love Omni, like this video. Like this stream. Gotham Knights has a butler, a Robin, a commissioner, but they're all wrong characters. Interesting. The current season of South Park is on HBO Max. Still very funny, better than the specials. I have to check it out. I have to get caught up, man. There's just so much. We can see the searching. Yeah. Scream, dummy, very seeable. Blah, blah, blah. Magic gone wrong. I think it's unanimous, but across the board, but a lot of people did not like that episode of The Flash. Yeah. I mean, that's completely understandable. It's the final season and we're dicking around. I've been recommending people to watch Gotham Knights at a more quiet time for shows and movies, because a lot of things are coming out right now. Very, very true. Tumblr spent almost a month working collectively to lie collectively about a non-existent movie. I'm sure anyone's chat can manage for a single day. Oh, right, okay, I got you. I forgot to tell that I thought the Soarin' movie under 3 years. Cool. Hell yeah, man. Predictions for Super and Lois Season 3. I don't really have anything right now. I really don't. Yeah, I'm not even reading Daniel's messages about this shit, because that's just messed up. Any chance you would react to Green Mile one day? This movie will be emotional for you, so brace yourself. I've seen it. I've seen it multiple times. It is an emotional ass movie. It's a really good movie. But yeah, I've seen that. Hell, we watched that in school once or twice that I can think of. But I've seen it myself quite a few times. What do you think would have happened if the Arrowverse, if Barry did die in Crisis? Well, I don't know. I don't think we would have I don't think the Arrowverse would have lasted as long as it would after Crisis because of everything else that happened. But I don't know. As far as what would happen in that world, dude, Thawne would have just destroyed everything. Because who would have stopped Thawne with all this stuff? But what would Thawne really be doing if Barry was gone, though? Well, Thawne was gone, technically still too. It was just still his remnant lingering behind. I don't know. I really don't know. It's a really good question, but I don't have the mental wherewithal right now to really come up with a good answer. I want a Star Wars KOTOR show starting with Revan's return and ending with the book ending. I would love a KOTOR show, but I would want them to retcon everything EA did to the character. There's some cool stuff they did, but they butchered what BioWare actually wanted to do with the character. God, I'm still so upset. I have the book, and there's some cool stuff in the book. Like where Revan, like his Force Lightning, when he puts his mask on, finally reconnects with it once again for the first time in ages and becomes whole. And his Force Lightning vaporizes that Dark Council member into ash. Highlight. Chef's kiss moment. But everything else really annoyed the shit out of me. Mostly everything to do with Scourge. And everything that had to tie into your made-up bullshit OC character for the microtransaction cash grab of a game that I did put a lot of hours of my life into because it was fun, but still should not be canon game. Anyway, I'm very annoyed with what they did because what KOTOR 2 set up is so much cooler than what happened. Anyway, sorry. I get very passionate about that storyline. If you were a member of the Seven, who would I be? Who would I be? The only thing that I like about what they did in SWTOR with Revan is the whole, like, Shadow of Revan thing. Where, except the fact that 5 fucking randos killed him. That's dumb as hell. Given he was in a weakened state, still, fucking hated that. But the whole, like, he's so entrenched in both sides that they became their own entities was kind of crazy. That was kind of cool. But if I was a member of the Seven, who would I be? I would probably be... God, I mean, who would I probably be? Like, if you translated my identity, personality, and characterization into one of the Seven, God, I would hope I'm none of them. Because they're all awful. But I think I would be some blend of, like, Maeve and Starlight. Because I'm not as goody-goody as Starlight, but I'm not so disillusioned as Maeve. But I don't know. Gotta go. Love the channel. See you next video soon. Bye. Take it easy, Ella. Thank you for stopping in. So old, my favorite Nick show was David the Gnome. Shelley Duvall's Fairy Tale Theater. I've never heard of either of those. Oh, okay. I have seen that. I didn't realize it was that. That's what his name was. Is Oliver actually dead, or does everyone just assume he is? Because I feel like being the Spectre makes him immortal. Oh yeah, they just think he's dead. I mean, he did leave behind a body. They do have his body, or at least they just ignored that part of the plot, where his body was just kind of there in the Lazarus pit, resurrected while his soul was elsewhere. But didn't they bring his soul back? But his soul became the Spectre, so once he became the Spectre, did he take back that body? It was very unclear. I feel like that was something that got cut out. So it all just kind of depends, but he is technically, I guess, alive. His soul carries on in some form. He's in a physical place that Felicity is able to go to, so I would have to imagine they did reconnect him with his body. So I think he's alive. He's just in a pocket reality, living out his heaven in a way. As we saw in the comics, which the Flash just recently made non-canon again, he showed up to recruit them for something. Do you think it was intentional for to air Mando and the Bad Batch at the same time? It seems like they are connecting all the cloning stuff. I think it's just because that's just when they air the Star Wars stuff. and they didn't want to delay putting out Mando and Bad Batch or whatever. I think it was just purely a release schedule thing. I don't know if it's... I mean, I do think a lot of it is all connected because it's all integrated into this cloning plot. So maybe, but I don't know if it was just a coincidence. Because Bad Batch got delayed to this point, so it should have had it released when it was going to originally release, it would have finished before Mando started. But I don't know, maybe. Ant-Man 3, Creed 3 are the only movies I've currently seen in 2023. I'm watching Shazam 2 tomorrow. Yeah, I haven't seen Creed 3 yet, so once I have, that'll probably be higher on that list. Have I watched Julie and the Phantoms? No. Somebody mentioned this last stream. I still have never heard of it. Cocaine Bear was awesome, stupid fun. I love it. I heard it was wild and entertaining at least, but I gotta be in the mood for that. But we'll see. I've recorded my reaction to RRR though, but it's a beast of a movie and there's a lot to trim down. I'm getting help with getting it edited, and a lot of other reactors who've done it recently have been having a hard time getting it to post without getting blocked. So I'm trying my best to get that one to you guys. When was the last time you went roller skating, 80s style? Do you prefer inline or quad? Inline, all the way. I hate quad. I sucked at quads for some reason. Like, I just can never quite get it down in the way that I could with inline, because I would inline at a skate park. I mean, I got a pretty gnarly scar from one of the ramps though, but I've never went. I mean, no, we had like roller rinks growing up, and that was kind of like a very popular spot for birthday parties and growing up and whatnot, with all the disco lights and the roller rink and stuff. But like, man, that was probably the last time. I was probably like 7 or 8, maybe younger. The last time I actually went like that type of skating that wasn't just me inlining down the street or at a park. But the place that we used to do all that stuff got closed down a long time ago, so I don't even think we have one anymore in the area. Guys, remember to like and subscribe. Like and subscribble! For real, Immortal 56. Oh, right. Any chance for the Owl House reaction? A friend forced me to watch the first episode. I am emotionally damaged now since the last episode airs next month. Maybe one day. We'll see. We'll see. I've heard great things about the show. I've seen tidbits here and there, but I don't know. We'll have to keep an eye out. This message will self-describe in 5 seconds. Really enjoyed the game, and for the show, I surprisingly enjoyed it. There were some gripes that I had with it, but other than that, I think they did great. 10 out of 10. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Do you think Bo has a hinted agenda, or is she sincerely accepting the old ways? I think she's sincere. And I know a lot of people don't trust Bo right now. I think she's still afraid to admit any of it. Or maybe she is. Maybe she is like, oh, maybe she does take the Mythosaur as a sign to confront Din against the Darksaber again. I don't know. I would hope for Bo to have like a spiritual healing in a way. Whether that is accepting the creed or accepting a life that works for her, and kind of her taking that weight of her failures off her shoulders. I don't want her to be an adversary. So I'm hoping that that's not the case. Be nice and chat. We're a friendly, here, peaceful stream. Peaceful stream. Whoops. What about the Shawshank Redemption? I've already watched that as well. Yeah, I've seen that one. I've seen that one more than I've seen Green Mile, but I've definitely seen that one as well. And Castaway and Forrest Gump. What's your thoughts for what's to come in season 2 of The Last of Us? I know they said some things are going to be radically different, but at the same time that they're not changing anything. So I don't know what the hell that means. My only question, the only thing that I can posit that they're probably going to do is change up the structure of how the story plays out. And obviously they're going to expand on stuff. Other characters are going to get more, fleshed out stories, much like the Frank stuff, because we don't have to stay locked into any character we're playing as, like in the game. So they did say we're going to do exactly what we did in season 1. But I don't know. It's a lot. There's a lot of stuff. I'm glad that they're not trying to do it all in one season, because I don't think they would. I think they would fail at trying to cram all that into one season. But it's a lot. It's going to be a lot to take in. It's also way more emotionally damaging of a storyline in my book. It was just depressing as hell. So good in a lot of ways, but depressing as hell. I don't know. I'm both looking forward to it and dreading it all at the same time. But the internet is going to be a toxic place if it is anything remotely like how it was around the time the game came out. Dude, I would mute anything. Like, if you've not played the game, I would mute anything and everything about The Last of Us. I mean, even right now, like, channels like Heavy Spoilers and stuff like that have started posting stuff that could accidentally spoil things. I'm sure people know a particular character that is probably going to come up, at least but just by name alone already by this point. I don't know how you'd be able to tiptoe around it unless you've just been really lucky, but like, I would just... Yeah, the leaks also didn't help the game. But yeah, I had the main thing spoiled, one of the big things spoiled for me, like the week before it came out, because once the leaks came out, somebody went back to my year-old reaction video to the trailer and just dropped it, and I saw it, because like back then I wasn't like getting a shit ton of views. Like, the comments were like, I was responding to every comment because there wasn't that many, so I was like, I couldn't not see it. So I was like, went into the game, and I think it's fine in the context, but like, it's just like, people are brutal and very strong in certain... We see this shit all the time. Let's just leave it at this. We see this with every fandom, Marvel, DC, whatever, these days, and it came out in force for that game. And I imagine once they adapted the show, it'll be right back into the full swing again. So I would be like, if you've not played the second game at all or have no intention to, and you want to watch the show, mute everything to do with The Last of Us. Barry died in Crisis. The Arrowverse would turn into the rating of Batman v Superman. Interesting. The resurgence in 80s nostalgia in the areas of that 90s show, do you think that in another 10 years we're going to have people feeling nostalgia for the early aughts? I don't, mainly because of 9/11. Yeah, I think so. I think even like right now, people are still like living in the aughts in a lot of ways, especially, I don't know, because I can't escape it. Like, if you go to a bar, if you go anywhere, it's just 2000s music most of the time for me. I think eventually we're going to hit that point. I didn't like what they did with SWTOR. Not me either. But, and that book only exists to reinforce their decisions. Back again and writing a comedy movie called Craziest Trip Ever. Awesome. Hell yeah. Hi there, Omni. Love the content. Do you think superhero content needs to evolve in quality, or they are doing good as they are? I think they just need to... I don't think they need to evolve. I think that at this point they aren't being treated with the amount of reverence that they needed that they have in the past. I think right now the push is to keep the content flowing rather than have a good story or make sure everything's ready for the screen when it comes out. I think that they're so lost in the success that they're starting to drop in quality in a lot of ways. I don't think it needs to evolve. I just think they need to respect what they have moving forward. We'll see. Starlight and Maeve mix is perfect for you. Well, thank you. I think I nailed that. I would be Black Noir because I don't like talking to people that much. Fair enough. Am I excited for Gen V? After that trailer, I am. I was kind of on the fence about it initially, but after the trailer we got, yes. What's quad? Like four-wheel roller skates. Homelander, because if I get in the way with murder, everybody is going to be annoyed with me, and Ash and drinking milk. Cows, not humans. Alrighty then. What's wrong with quad skates? I just don't think they're as smooth to ride on. You know, I don't think they're as... I don't know. I think they are just too bulky and clunky, and you don't have the freedom you have with N-Line. Quad, like a quadrillion? No. No. I'm a little confused. Wasn't Michael Keaton supposed to direct Batman or a DC movie? I heard that a while ago. I've never heard him directing anything for DC. It was originally that Ben Affleck was supposed to direct, the word was Ben Affleck was going to direct a Batman or a DC movie, but now that's been confirmed as at least not being the case anymore. I don't want to say not true, but for debate. But I've never heard about Michael Keaton directing anything for DC. But that doesn't mean I'm right, but I don't know. I haven't heard that one. I want an episode of The Boys where they have a character with Spider-Man powers, except it comes out of their butt like it does an actual spider. Any chance you would react to The Thing 1982 one day? I would if I hadn't already seen it. Dude, I'm turning 35 in like 3 weeks. I've seen a lot of movies. There's just some movies up like from those eras that for one reason or another I just hadn't. Like the Creed stuff, Rambo, Die Hard. Those things were not my cup of tea growing up. But yeah, stuff like that, most horror stuff I've seen a lot of. There's still, not to say there's not some classics that I haven't seen. There's definitely a lot that I still haven't seen, but yeah, I'm just trying to add some flavor and context. Second game isn't that bad looking back. My complaints was mostly with the pace. Like any of the complaints I had about the game was I thought there was way too much padding as far as gameplay segments. I thought there were some sections that were literally just taking up time that weren't even fun sometimes, and the way the narrative unfolded, I thought didn't help the story they were telling initially. It takes a long time to get swinging, but it's not awful. I gave it like a 7 out of 10 on my first playthrough, while I would give like the first game a 10 out of 10. And I think a lot of that held me back was just the gameplay and the way they structured the story, really. I still gotta finish the first game. Get to it! The Y2K trend is unavoidable. Yeah, it's gonna come one of these days. I want Keanu Reeves to play Revan. He would be perfect for the role. As if they decided to bring him to live action. Yeah. Dude, I've seen the fan art of him as Revan, and it is perfect. Perfect. I mean, the longer we wait, the older he gets, and the harder that's going to be. And with it being, you know, with stuff like this and the way that it was like a created character and all that stuff, and the books aside, we don't know what Revan will look like when they add Revan to the canon. We just know the name Revan is canon. That Revan exists as a Sith Lord in the current the current Star Wars Disney canon. But we don't really know how much or what of the story is. And thank you, Nancy, for becoming an adventurer, earning that little badge. Thank you so much. Hope you're having fun. Let me know if you have any issues or questions. Remember to like. Yes, Lisi. I know the actor was fired, but I want to see Ralph one more time in season 9. Probably not gonna happen. Probably not gonna happen. I'm gonna leave a Hulk smash that like button if you have Riz. And we're caught up to the chat, guys. I didn't think it would be that difficult. I thought it would be an easy week to get into it right now. You know, Greg's still streaming. Everybody else is streaming. But yeah, we're caught up, guys. So, I mean, we can just chill, hang out for a little bit, see what happens, or we can call it early. Still confused on how I thought the crazy trip never went to sleep. Had a dream about it. I've been working on it since this morning. Oh yeah, man. Sometimes it's just how it goes. You get those random spurts of inspiration and you just run with it. I know Marvel already has a lot of shows, but I would have loved a Star Wars style Mojo Vision show for Marvel and Mojo Vision. Maybe you meant Visions. I'm not sure. With Dazzler and Longshot. I'm not sure what you mean by Mojo Vision. I don't know how much I can say without spoiling The Last of Us 2, but let me say that if the show does the same as what they did in the game, your action will be the same when the second game came out. Oh, they're going to do it. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. Now we're at the point where I got to wait, one, for people to add stuff to the chat, and then for it to actually show up in StreamYard, because it's a huge delay between the two. I wonder if reloading it helps at all. I mean, I could have just waited, or that worked. I can't tell. But that's visually disgusting to do it that way. But to the big reveal, I thought Revan was a non-human. In the German version of the game, the clip of him being captured by Basila has French audio, which sounded like an alien language for me. Oh, that's kind of interesting. That's kind of funny, though. I mean, it was kind of always up in the air, because I can't remember what the options were in the game. Exactly, but I wouldn't be surprised if they went the woman route or anything like that. I don't care at this point. I just wrote Revan in that story because that character is just so, I don't know, fascinating to me to include in the universe. This is a fun thing. That story is so entrenched with the Mandalorian lore and history that I'm just like, I want it to show up in the Mando at some point. Do you think Grogu will talk this season? They sure are hinting to it. Possibly. Possibly. We don't know. You remember Mojo from the X-Men cartoon? He was a TV exec guy in space. That's all huge in the spider chair. Oh, okay. Even still, I'm not sure exactly what you mean about a Mojo Vision show for Marvel. Star Wars style Mojo Vision show for Marvel and Dazzler and Longshot. I still don't know what you mean. Hey man, big fan of your videos. Well, thank you, Gabriel. Welcome to the stream. It's a little slow today. We got a lot of other channels right now competing for very similar audiences. Greg and John are live right now. I think a few other people are live. I know Jay from Preview is streaming Jackbox on Twitch at the moment as well. So a little slower. One last question. Have you ever seen Infinity Train? I think you or somebody's asked me this before. I've not seen Infinity Train. I think it's on they removed it, didn't they? I remember seeing that they were going to be removing it from HBO Max, like delisting the show. I'd love to see Dazzler in a 70s style heist movie with mutant powers. That could be interesting. I think we will see Snoke or something. I mean, I think this is all. I mean, I think we've all thought this, but this is all Bad Batch, Mando. All of it is expanding upon the cloning project that leads to Snoke, that leads to Palpatine's return. Like, it's the only thing I can imagine that this is all setting up. But I don't know if and when we'll actually see Snoke or something like that. If you really want to get gross in on the boys, Spider-Man characters, have them eat bugs. Also have full body covered in those prickly little hairs as well, so they can climb on stuff. I've seen some of your joined reactions with Real Rejects. Can we expect some other joined reactions with some other guys? I don't know. I'm not sure. I mean, I play Mario Party and a couple other games with Jay from Previewed every now and then on his Twitch. You know, we've had the big old reaction trivia off a few years ago with a whole bunch of your favorite reactors. You know, we grouped up into teams. I was one of the captains for one of the nights. Me and Busy were team captains, and we had people from the Normies. We had Married to the Real. We had JVS. We had CJ and Go. We had Blind Wave. Had a bunch of people, man. It was packed. It was a lot of fun, though. I lost, but it was fun. But as far as like actual like paired off reactions to anybody else, I'm not too sure. I haven't really done that. I've done a lot of like guest like live stream stuff with Akasan, with JVS, and that's all been fun, and with No Chainsaw. But as far as like reaction collab, I don't really have too many planned, and that's those are a little harder to set up than you might think. But I don't know. I'm sure me and Greg are probably going to do another one here in the next month or so, maybe. But we'll see. We'll see. It's about 3 siblings and their friend. One of the siblings are trying to find his birth mom and dad, but the trip doesn't go as planned. What are my plans for this coming week? And will it be easier with one less show? It will be easier because it's a Sunday where I can relax, man. That's all I gotta say. Is like, that's the one thing that about these shows that drop on the weekends, man. It's just like, oh, it's my only reprieve. Now I have to work. So I'm just gonna chill, I think, a little bit. But yeah, I hate when they bog down so many shows on one night. Like Superman, Lois, Bad Batch, and Mando, all the same night is so frustrating. It's so hard to get sleep while also getting those shows out. But which makes me like, I can't wait for Bad Batch to be over. Which we just got 2 more weeks of Bad Batch. Which sucks though, that last week, that's 2 episodes of Bad Batch. So that's 4, technically, while it's only 3 shows, that's 4 episodes in one night. God damn it. I'm not looking forward to it. But after that, it'll just be Superman and Mando. And that'll be relaxing enough, I think. But yeah, God damn it. After seeing Scorch in Bad Batch, I started playing the Republic Commando again. Do you think we'll see Delta Squad in future seasons? I mean, it's always possible. It's definitely always possible. Your RR reaction. Are you trying to do 1 video or 3 to 4 parts? Right now, I'm aiming for 2 parts. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Because I thought about 1, and I know some people have done 1. But there's just so much in that movie, man. There are so many reactions. I know that's part of the appeal of, you know, go to Patreon and watch me with the full link, sync up your time code, all that stuff, and see all of it. But movie's just fucking wild, man. So I didn't want to go 3 parts, so I thought 2 was nice. Because, I mean, I've done reactions stuff that's like an hour and a half. You know, just cut the movie in half, set up the reactions for that. That's kind of the structure I'm working with right now. I've seen a couple other channels do 2 parts, so I think that's a healthy compromise to try to keep as much as possible. But like I said, I mean, Late to the Party, Akasan, a few other people have been trying to post reactions for it, and it just keeps getting blocked now. It's my favorite moment in the Mandalorian show so far. So far, I think it's got to be the Mythosaur reveal. It's not slow, we're just chill. We'll chill out. Thaw out. Fire up a little bit. But at least I'm caught up, and we're not like where like most nights where it's like I'm like 30 minutes behind on every chat. What surprises are you looking forward to in this season on Mando? It's kind of hard to answer, you know? I don't know if I'm going to be expecting surprises. Is it not a surprise then to know about it ahead of time? I don't know. I'm looking forward to what Gideon's been up to. That's one thing I'm really looking forward to. What is actually going on with Gideon? How much is he still pulling the strings? And will Grogu talk? Who will lead the Mando clans back to Mandalore? Will we be able to reclaim Mandalore? These are all things I'm hoping for, but I'm not sure if that exactly answers the question. I have to head out. Had a great time. Have a great day, Omni. Thank you. I'm glad you had a good time. I hope you have a great rest of your day and the rest of your weekend. Did I watch White Lotus? No. I'm not exactly sure what that is. Oh, sorry, I skipped one. Also, it is rated R. Cool. So kind of like a Hangover kind of thing a little bit. Hey, Captain, did your team win? No, we lost embarrassingly by a lot. Because, like, Busy, we did, like, you know, dodgeball rules. So, like, me and him were the team captains because we had both previously won the solo battles. I wasn't able to do the one he was in, so he just got to win because I wasn't there. But no, the first one we did, I won. The second one that happened, I wasn't able to be there for, and Busy won. So the third one we all did, we did a team battle. It was the Reactor Civil War, as we called it. It was me and him were team captains. We picked our teams, and he went for blood, man. Like he played show business. I played show friends. Like I was like, you know, picking the people who you would assume would probably get picked last sometimes. I was like picking like people I just like wanted to share the spotlight with and stuff like that in these moments. And he was just like, he was going for the heavy hitters right out of the gate. And I was like, all right, this is how we're going to go it, I guess. I got my ass whooped, but I had fun, man. It was a fun game. Hope we do it again one day. I've seen a few videos of Mando and Grogu at the Disney parks. Men getting misty-eyed from joy, women blushing and giggling. I expect to get overcome too. I still haven't gone to... I've still never been to either of the Disney parks. I still hope to go one of these days and see what all's up at Galaxy's Edge, if it's worth me going bankrupt. For the MCU, I wish they'd cut back on the CGI and go harder on the theme of the movie. I think one of the issues is they've not matured with their audience and just keep a sort of stasis. I hard agree with that. I do. I do think that CGI is getting a little too egregious as well. You should do some reactions with the guys at Blind Wave. You guys seem to like the same things. I would love to. I love those guys, but they're not easy to get in touch with, you know? So like, I don't know. I'm very intimidated in a lot of ways. Me and Greg, like that whole thing just like kind of stumbled upon itself. But I've never really got a chance to talk to any of them in a more like personal way. So like, I don't know. They're neighbors, like state-wise, they're very close. It's very possible. It would be very easy to do like an actual like in-person thing with those guys, because they're just like 2-3 hours away. Like, it's just a quick little drive. I could go hang out with them at their studio or something, but I don't know. I don't want to impose or anything of the sort, but I would tell you I would love it. I do think we would get along. We do love the Arrowverse. We like Star Wars, all the same shit. We're getting into a lot of the same anime I grew up with. You know, they're fun dudes. But they're also busy dudes. Sad to hear that there will be no season 2 for Willow. That's apparently, according to John Kasdan, is a bit of a... is getting misreported. He's saying it's not canceled, that season 2 may still happen, but they don't know when it will happen. So they decided to let their cast out of their contract so they could pursue other jobs while they figure out season 2. But I doubt we'll ever get a season 2, though. I mean, the show, I enjoyed some bits of it. It had its heart in the right place, but it was not well put together. It was very, very messy. And its structure, its tone, its, what's the word I'm looking for? Its consistency within the world it's supposed to be living in. I don't know. I liked a lot about it, and it's always sad for me to see something not get to tell its story. But I knew while I was reacting to it, or at least posited while I was reacting to the show, that this season was probably going to be it. I mean, the numbers for it were awful, not just with reactions. I mean, reaction channels across the board, it was the lowest show while it was out. But like the ratings for it was also just terrible. Do you know if there will be a season 3 of The Bad Batch? I don't know if that's been confirmed or not. I don't know. I think also one of the issues is so many people are angry with their lives, and heroes are fighting to keep civilian lives the same rather than fighting for significant cultural or social change. Yeah, that's fair. That's a fair critique. Summer. Scream 6 drops on the 30th in my stupid country. Already saw a small spoiler. This just sucks. That's awful. I'm sorry. It's a small one, though. I hope it's not a big one. I hope that you don't get hit with any of the big ones. The day the movie came out here, somebody posted the killer's identities in my trailer reaction. But the dumbass didn't realize I had already posted my review up, so I'd already seen the movie, so he already fucking failed at his job. But people are fucking dicks, man. That shit pisses me off so much. Like, what kind of sad, pathetic little piece of shit are you if you're going around you get your joys in ruining shit for other people? Like, that's just messed up. Like, that's some kind of, you need like therapy kind of shit. You think Lex Luthor is going to be a surprise ally against Intergang? One of the stills we saw, it looked like he may be in prison. I mean, I could just be not looked at the image right, but it looked like he might have been in like a prison uniform, so it is possible. I was kind of thinking about that with the whole Lex Luthor announcement, like maybe he's not the villain of the season or something like that. And it's only Bruno, and it could be a whole little thing, but I don't know. I'm curious to find out, though. Like, he's adopted. Nice, nice, nice. All's fair in love more in movie trivia. Cheating in trivia is just wrong. I mean, I guess in love, too, that's kind of cheating. Is not okay. But, dude, movie trivia, it is way more serious than anything else. You're Googling shit. Get the fuck out. Punk. Say it. You have to go to Galaxy's Edge. Finally got a reservation at the Cantina last year. I almost cried when I walked in. You just have to do it. I want to. One of these days. I was planning on it. And then this all happened. I was saving up for it. And then the world went to shit. And all that planning went to shit. And I'm just not recouped. Because I have other things I need to save up for now. So like a car. That's another thing I lost during the pandemic was a car. That's the first thing I need to figure out, is finally get my own mode of transportation again. Drunken movie trivia. Best college game out there. Hell yeah. Gotta go, man. It was nice chatting with you. Have a good night. This is the way. Thanks for stopping in, Gabriel. Have fun. Have a great weekend, and hopefully we'll see you next time. My boyfriend and I are starting to believe the rumor that the armor might be Rook cast, and that's why she doesn't want Children of the Watch to take off their helmet, because it would reveal her true self. I started to see that as well, and it never really crossed my mind, and that would be really interesting, not gonna lie, if that came out, if that ended up being true. Did that change? Yeah, it did. I was me checking the... I'm gonna remove this off here. Let me fix that. And fix. There we go. I need to remember to take my StreamYard and make it its own tab. I think that would be pretty interesting. Willow was mixed, but I enjoyed it overall. It would have been cool to get a second one and have them improve on it. I know it ain't canceled, but still. At least one wrapped up with most of its stuff. Not to be mean, but that is one of the reasons to stop watching Campia. He's spoiled so much for me. He's usually pretty good about warnings most times, but yeah, he has been a hotbed for spoilers in recent years, man. Seeing that someone in chat hasn't seen Scream. I know you said spoilers this week would be okay, but I'll try to be light because I ain't want to ruin stuff. If it ain't come out for some. Yeah, I was thinking that exact same thing when they said that. I was just kind of like, I don't know. I was like, whoops. I'm glad, though, we haven't actually talked about anything of import, at least. As a woman, it's funny to see how hard people go gaga for Pedro as a sexy symbol of masculinity versus what most people would have considered in the past. Dude, Pedro is just... What's funny is he himself doesn't understand it. Or at least seemingly doesn't understand it. Like when people are like talking about how the people are like in love with him and stuff like that. I was like, why? That like comment he made was like, why do people give a shit about me? They should be, they should be worrying about, they should be obsessed with Harry Styles or some shit, like he said. I can't remember the exact quote, but he was like, he just can't fathom why people think he's daddy or people are into him at all, and he thinks he's too old, I guess. But like it was just such a weird, sad in a way kind of thought. But yeah, man, I love him. He's just he seems like a chill, sweet dude, humble in a lot of ways, but I mean, honestly, you never know. But that's just what the vibes I get from him. But like, yeah, man, Pedro, Oscar, lots of dudes getting it out there, man. There are no rules when it comes to winning the war that is movie trivia. I disagree. Rules are very integral. Because if somebody looks up an answer, you're a rat. I'm glad a certain person made it because I like them, and I think it would have been a great death. But overall, I think they went through too many fake outs, but I like the cast, so I ain't too mad. That's kind of exactly how I felt as well. I feel you. I lost my car in 2022. It's been so hard looking for a remote job because of that. Yeah, I lucked out on that front with being remote, so transportation's been easier to navigate, that I don't have an actual office to go to, because I had transitioned into a job where there was an office, but the company I work for now is based out of Minnesota, and they just happen to have an office here where I got hired at. However, once I got hired, everything shut down, so I went remote. And to cut costs, they kept us remote and just canceled their lease on the office here. So they just shut down the office here. And I was like, all right, I'm totally okay with that, because I'm not moving to Minnesota anytime soon. Good evening from Nottingham. Hope you're well. Shout out to Nottingham. What's up, Gavin? Welcome. I'm doing pretty good. Also, the final kill was fire. That's all I can say. Yes, it was. Let's see. Mando has been pretty solid so far. I was kind of meh on the trailers, but I love the show. So still looking forward to it, but it has been, this has been a good season so far. I'm really loving it. Really loving it. I'd rather not know about celebrities, how celebrities are IRL. More often than not, it's disappointing. It always endears me when it's good, but I'm not surprised ever when it's not, you know? 'Cause Hollywood's still gonna Hollywood sometimes. Pedro knows better from what he has experienced in the past with relationships being public. True. What game are you looking forward to, and what do you think of the drama surrounding Atomic Hearts? RE Remake. I know I haven't finished God of War, but when RE Remake comes out, I'm playing RE Remake. Like, even if I was, like, at the tail end of God of War, I would put it down for RE Remake. So, I'm going to be playing RE next week. So, that's the one I'm looking forward to. I think the most right now. Final Fantasy 16, obviously, is a big one for me. I don't know. I feel like I'm forgetting another one. Oh, Jedi Survivor comes out next month. 100% going to be playing that. I will finish God of War, I promise. But for Star Wars and for Resident Evil and stuff like that, man, pretty much any other game is always going to hit the back burner for me. So, yeah, I know some people are going to be extremely frustrated the second I start posting stuff for another game when I haven't finished God of War. It's just so, there's just too little time, man. But as far as Atomic Hearts, I've not heard of that game. So I don't know. Is that the Russian game? I don't know. I honestly, I'm not sure, but I know there's like been a Russian game that's very BioShock-esque that's been getting a lot of controversy around it because of the whole, like, the studio's stance with the Russian government and the Ukraine and stuff like that. So it's been very, yeah, I don't know. I haven't looked into that game at all. I've seen some stuff just as far as articles go, but I've got no opinion on the matter. I don't know. It didn't look like anything interesting to me, so I just never really looked into it too much, but I've seen some stuff. Okay, so that was the one you're talking about? I mean, if it's funded by the Russian government, I'm honestly not surprised to see what they're doing with it, but it's kind of, it's messed up either way. But they are self-admittedly, though, a rip-off of BioShock, though. Someone spoiled me the whole show. Fortunately, I was hammered, so I didn't remember the spoilers the next day. That works out. Hell yeah. Big old delete. Brain delete. Also, thank you once again for your reaction to The Dark. I've been enjoying your problem solving. Well, thank you. I'm glad. I had that little hiccup, and I'll be honest, I've just not been reading the comments as much, just in general on those. I put it out, and I check the like-to-dislike ratio, and that's pretty much all I'll look at, unless I happen to comb through some stuff. But yeah, it's been better overall, the overall attitude and my feeling and everything, and I feel like I got through the hump. Because there was just a couple faces that confused me. It was just faces and names that I didn't get, and I'm all on board right now. Hope we get some cool scenes in John Wick 4 with bro Lance. Rip. Freaking sucks that he's gone. Yeah, I know. That was some tough news. Tough news for sure. But the cast is stacked for it. Cannot wait. What's up, Sheena? Happy Saturday. Hope you're enjoying Jedi Fallen Order. Rowan, happy Saturday as well. How have you been doing? What are you playing right now these days? You've been bringing up that every day. I know! Literally, I woke up early yesterday. I was like, work went to shit. Work was insane yesterday, so I didn't get to do half of what I wanted to. And I was like, I'm going to play God of War today. And then once work was over, I was like, I'm taking a nap. I woke up. I'm like, all right, after this, after dinner, I'm just going to be like, I'm God of War. Took another nap. And it was midnight. And I'm like, yeah, I'm just going to watch some videos right now. And I was going to wake up early today, but again, I was just so tired. I woke up and I was like, I'm going to record some God of War. And then I'm just like, I just don't feel like it, dude. I might today or tomorrow, who knows? Maybe one of these days I'll play some more God of War. God, I feel so bad about it, man. I really do, but I gotta be in certain moods for certain games sometimes, and I just haven't really been in that mood since I was really like at the start of when the game came out, when I was like, oh yeah, God of War time. But like that kind of wore off, so now I really just kind of like really motivate myself to get back into it. Because usually once I sit down and get going, usually I can get right back into that headset a little bit easier. But yeah, once I get going, it's ugh. I just feel bad, man. I just feel bad about it. I don't know if it's been revealed yet, but you can use a saber and a blaster at the same time in Jedi Survivor. I think they showed that in the gameplay actually, because I didn't think, because I think that would be cool, but I don't know. I think I saw something like that on their gameplay thing, because there's a lot of new stuff you can do in the new one. RE4 Remake should be arriving the 24th for me. I got mine pre-ordered. Waiting to preload it. Yeah, I cannot wait. I'm just hoping that they didn't gut out the whole sections like with RE3 Remake. From what I've heard, RE4 Remake it's longer than the original, and there's added stuff. From what they said in RE4, they didn't take anything out, but they added stuff in. And I think changed a few things around, but also RE4 was made by the main team. RE3 was made by a what was it, like a secondary team, not the ones that worked on RE2 Remake. So I'm crossing my fingers. I downloaded the demo, but I never had time to play it. But I'm looking forward to it, man. I really am. How's your internet been? And will you be finishing up your God of War playthrough? I think I just went on a whole tangent about that. Internet-wise, I still cannot stream, and my provider is still not understanding the problem and saying everything's okay. So I've got a whole thing going on with that, and it's seeming like unless I can get them to come around on this, the only way I'll be able to stream anything again is if I move. And move somewhere where this provider does not exist. So that's going to be the hard part. That's going to be the challenge if that becomes my last option. Otherwise, I have to pre-record any of my game streams. I could feasibly stream it at this bit rate and it'd be stable, but the gameplay would be extremely degraded as far as you guys watching it, and I don't know how enjoyable that would be for you all. I was thinking about streaming it anyway so you can kind of be there and experience the moments, and then just make the stream non-public and then upload a recording of the stream with the clearer quality later. I've been kind of wrestling with that because I just hate the whole like taking the communal aspect out of it. Atomic Heart, okay. Yeah. All I've seen is the titty bots. I'll be honest, that is also kind of all I've seen from it. The robot, like, sex workers or whatever that they have that are, like, modeled off of, I think, one of the Ukrainian leaders or something like that. It's just like, why? Yeah, it's light on story, heavy on art, but glitchy as all get out. I've not enjoyed watching playthroughs. Really? Let's see. Saw your collaboration with Real Rejects the other day. How do these come about? I text Greg, or Greg texts me, and he's like, "Hey, you want to do this thing?" Yeah. I mean, we talk on occasion. He's been helping us. He's been a long-time friend of the channel and stuff like this. So like, it's just fun. So, I mean, it was really just luck on Patreon and stuff that it grew beyond this, where he actually kind of became a fan of the channel, and then we started talking, and we have each other's numbers, and we talk and hang out, and, well, not hang out, we talk, but like, kind of can't hang out when he's on the other side of the country. But yeah, it's a great dude, man. He's a busy dude, as they all are. Greg is stealing my... He's trying. Greg is trying to steal me. We'll see. I gave myself a role in the movie, as you do. I'm about to go to Kashyyyk. Didn't get too far in it. Kashyyyk it's a beautiful place. I can't remember too much, but I do not recall it being one of my favorite places to be in the game. I can tell you, the worst place to be in the game is Dathomir. The lore and the elements of it is really cool, and Mirren is my Star Wars bae, but fuck that place, dude. Fuck that place. Actually, thinking back on it, Kashyyyk has some sections that are really fun, like a lot of the tree work and a lot of the environmental kills you can get on. I play Mikey Chan. Awesome. Hell yeah, man. It's like reading. Sometimes you're in a mood and then you go and you find a story you want to read, but then you get 6 stories into your to-be-read pile and you never find that mood again. That happens to me all the time. And that's one of the main reasons why it's so hard to finish some of these things at times. It's just rough. Because I don't want to be a downer or make myself to play or watch something. And because like that can, sometimes I don't come out of the funk and then I'm just like, I'm not vibing with it. And then that's not going to be fun for anybody. Because I think it's really easy to tell when a reactor doesn't actually like what they're watching. I'm not great at hiding that fact most times, to be honest either. People, get your facts straight before you confuse Omni. The Fallen Order. There are 2 added combat stances. Think of Ghost of Tsushima gameplay. 1 stance with Blaster, 1 stance with Kylo Hiltsaber. I don't think anybody was getting confusing. Man, dude, I loved Ghost of Tsushima. I hope we get another one. That game was so fucking good. I won't play demos because I hate getting blue ball. I'll just wait for the whole game. That's kind of how I am anymore. John Wick 4 reviews seem to be loving it, but I heard some people are saying the ending might be controversial. I don't know what that can mean. Any idea? I mean, what, did they kill John Wick? I don't know. We'll see. Do you plan on to move anytime soon? And if you did, where would you go? Somewhere with more snow? Fuck no. I'll tell you this. Hell no. I do not want to go with it. I mean, there are some places I would possibly go that would include more snow, but if I have the option, snow is wholeheartedly out of the picture for me. But there's more options here. The threat of hurricanes or the desert with water rationing. Shit. I think I'd rather deal with the snow than hurricanes and water rationing, though. But I don't know about anytime soon. It just depends on how much I can take and if I find somewhere viable. Honestly, if I could just move like 1 town over, get a nice, decently priced little place that has the provider I have already confirmed works with what I'm trying to do, I would probably do that. Otherwise, it's still just a big old gamble. My ideal has always been I would love to move somewhere where there's just 1 season, though. Where it's not snow. Because I hate snow. I don't hate snow. I hate it as an adult. I loved it as a kid. I hate it as an adult. I just don't like the cold either. What do you factor in when you're thinking of when you think of planning a move? Location and what internet is available. Like, because that's the big thing. Because if you like, oh, this place is great, and you find out they only have DSL or satellite internet, you just fucked yourself if you're a content creator. Hell, if you stream or anything at all, or even game, you fucked yourself. So internet options is the main thing I look for when I'm planning out a move. Dude, if I could land somewhere that has fiber, I don't give a shit what's going on. I would take that in a heartbeat. Chances are most of those places, the rent's going to be insane. I mean, here's an idea. Stream a game, but not with the footage. Have a mirror or picture in the background that would reflect the gameplay for us to see. It may work. I mean, bitrate wise, you're still not going to see it because the bitrate's not going to be able to keep up with all the motion. That's where the problem comes in. Because the bitrate, the only bitrate I can stream at, like, can handle this okay, but like gameplay, action stuff, it's going to be artifacting like crazy. Like a 2500 is not a great bitrate for like streaming any high intensity kind of game at all. And that's kind of all I can stream at. I can't go any higher than 2500 right now. So putting in the background will honestly only make it worse because it's smaller. The pixels are going to be smaller, so it's going to be smudging out like crazy. Favorite Last of Us show change? The Hive network to the infected, but I want to see it utilized more. Greg is stealing Echo. Have you played the Rockstar Batman games? Yes. Which one was my favorite? The first one is still my favorite. But I've played all of the Batman Arkham games. Oh great. Dude, you're gonna love Dathomir. Gonna love it. Love it. Watched Luther Fallen Sun yesterday. It was really good. The creator said you can watch even if you haven't seen the show. There are some Easter eggs and references. Andy Serkis kills it as the killer. Is that a spoiler? Did you just spoil who the killer is for me? I've never seen Luther, like the show, so I was like, this isn't even on my list because I figured it'd be a continuation. But I don't know. We'll see. Maybe. Wait, really? Over Bastila? Oh, definitely over Bastila. I like Marin way more than I like Bastila. Bastila, surprisingly, isn't all that high. I'm not a huge... I like Bastila, don't get me wrong, but she's definitely never been one of my favorite Star Wars babes. Out of all the upcoming movies this year, what would you say you're most hyped for? Mario, Guardians, Dune, Wick, etc. I've talked about this already in the stream, but this will change tomorrow because my most anticipated movie, the one I'm the most excited for this year, is the Dungeons & Dragons movie. Comes out tomorrow. It doesn't come out tomorrow. It comes out at the end of the month, but there's an early screening, an Amazon Prime early screening thing that they're doing tomorrow at 2 across the nation in different locations and stuff like that. So once I've seen that, that'll be crossed off. So second on that list will probably be Flash. And I wasn't excited for Flash until we got that trailer, but probably Flash. How'd you come by your remote job? I'm having a hard time applying and looking for them. I knew some people that already kind of worked there, so it kind of helped to have like some reference, but I mean, I've just been daisy chaining IT jobs. You know, I started off working for an ISP call center. I'd always been computer savvy and computer literate, but I started off this journey just trying to put myself through college, so I went from working retail at Sears to working for an ISP at their tech support call center. Did that for about 6 years, you know, became one of their subject matter experts and then a manager before I finally was like, all right, there's this other place around nearby people tend to graduate to when they're like going up their stepstones. It's another level. It's more integrated IT stuff. It's not so much like reset your internet, reboot change your switches and all this stuff, because wow, they used to be Verizon while I was there, and then it changed and it just completely went to shit. I won't say who took over, but it was awful. You had to defend their lies all the time, and it was disgusting. But eventually I graduated out of that to a place that takes up contracts. They do support work for different places, so a lot of them were colleges or universities that we worked with, and we pretty much did it was a catch-all. It was like we did software installation, software troubleshooting, operating system troubleshooting, networking, internet troubleshooting, all kinds of stuff. Like there really wasn't any, there were very few things we could say this is not something we can try to help you with. And you know, I did that for like what, 4 or 5 years, I think. Kind of went through the same path, just dug in real deep, real hard, took in everything I could take in about it, became a subject matter expert, became a manager, the whole loop started again. And then, you know, there was this other company I heard some people talking about, and they posted an opening, and they had an office. Like I said, the intent was that it would be an in-office job. The intent was not for it to be remote. But the pandemic happened, and everybody went remote, and they just, like I said earlier, closed the office and kept us here remote. Now the people that still work in the home base where the actual main office is, they still have to go in every now and then and stuff like that. But they let me and some of the other people that are from my neck of the woods just stay where we are. So really, I just kind of lucked out in the end. But as far as that goes, like I just kept on this career path that just started just to get me, you know, above minimum wage while I was going to college at the same time. And that was awful, man. The call center stuff, especially for the ISP, was soul wrenching. Like that was like, there were times where it was okay, but most of the times it was just dreadful. Really changed when I got off the phones, though. Once I got off the phones, it was so much better. But I don't know, man. It seems like everywhere I've gone, and so far this hasn't happened where I'm at now. Everywhere I had graduated to was great starting out, and eventually went under new management and went to complete dog shit. And I worked, I may have mentioned this once or twice before, but I won't bring it up right now because I don't want to say, but I really took pride in who I worked for previously, and the contract I was in charge of. It was a big contract. Like it was a big place, big name. And like I really took pride in that. But my management, not my manager. My manager was great. She was like one of the best managers I've ever had. But the people that took over ran everything into the dirt. The entire culture changed. Because when I started there, it was literally about the quality of service. And then they sold out to another company, and then this new one was basically all about, they had only come from like sales centers, so everything became about numbers. Everything became about not actually helping anybody and just making sure we were getting shit done all at the same time on time. So on top of that, they started hiring people who were less qualified for the insane shit we were actually supposed to be working on. So we were getting like people who had, like, to be fair, we had some great people that learned on the job. We had some great people that didn't have tech experience that started off that were fantastic. Like Barry, she was great. Like, and that was like her first thing, but like they were not vetting people. They were not checking anything. It became a rolling door of people who were literally just here to be dead bodies, just answering the phones. And it just like it stopped working. Then we started hemorrhaging people, and the upper management just could not understand. This all changed when they took over. Like there was no wherewithal about why this isn't working. And my God, I gotta say, when I left, oh my God, it put them on their back foot, dude. Not to say anything, but like, they my new job, they couldn't price match at all. Like there was no way they could keep me. But like it would just be stupid for me to stay and keep going. And I was just like, and they understood that, but me leaving really fucked them over, I think. Oh my God. I don't know what it's like right now, but I've heard it's only gotten worse. I'm content where I'm at now. It gets stressful. It gets silly sometimes because we have a small team. So if anybody calls out, it can be really detrimental sometimes. But it's way more relaxed. And I don't know. I mean, eventually you just got to keep going. You got to take the risk. Because honestly, I had all the experience I got at my last job, and none of it really equated to where I'm at now, because it's a completely different type of IT job that I've got right now. It's a completely different section that I've never had any experience on, but based on what I had done before, they were like pretty confident that I could learn it on the job, and it's a lot to take in, but I'm doing okay. 2 years in now, and I think I'm still like hanging on by my teeth sometimes, but it's engaging in a lot of ways, and they're very helpful. It's a wholly different environment, but like, goddamn, man, I do miss, like, I'll be honest, I do miss working for the client I was that I was in charge of. I was in charge of our contract with a particular institute that I really took. If I could like just work for them directly, I would do that. Because I really did enjoy that, and they were great. But that would involve moving to the Cambridge, Boston area, and I don't know how that would go. That's also not cheap. Also, honestly, I'm not sure. Anyway, yeah, I'm trying not to say the name, but I'm still dropping hints. I know. Again, because I do take a lot of pride in having worked there, man. I mean, if you go back on my Instagram far back enough, you'll see where I was, because I did take a business trip up to the actual location once, and it was a lot of fun. But I mean, I don't think it's like a secret. It's literally on my resume, my CV. So, I mean, I don't know. I just don't want to. It's a weird barrier. Anyway. Well, now I'm excited. We'll move on. That became a whole tirade. I want to go back to the freezer bar. It was, right? That was so good. That place was so fun. That was the wildest, like if you didn't know, like that bar I think that one was actually in Boston, across the river. I don't remember what it was called. That gamer bar. There's this gamer bar in Boston where they had like all kinds of game-themed drinks and stuff like this, and food and whatever. It was like hidden in this back freezer door in the back of this side street. That was inside a hot dog shop. Yeah, it was inside. The one I'm thinking of was inside like a ice cream shop. Maybe they had hot dogs. I just remember they gave out ice cream. But if you went back to the freezer door, there was a secret. Not secret, because everybody knew about it, but it was like behind the door, there was like a section for adults, which was a gamer bar. Like, that was wild, man. That's like city life, man. I've never seen in my life before, living in bumfuck nowhere like I do. Yeah, dude, I don't know, man. I don't remember the name of that place, though. I don't remember the name. Anyway, moving on. Now I'm really excited. Okay, I think Kashyyyk is not as bad as I think I made it sound there, to be honest. But Dathomir is not going to be fun. I love Greg's really emotional reactions to some movies. I do too. And I feel like sometimes when he has a guest on, and this might not be true, and I've never really talked to him about this or posited this, I wonder if he feels the need more to like play into the reaction, or if having somebody like me or somebody else there, if that makes it harder for him to connect with the movie on an emotional level or not. Because I know with John, I know him and John are extremely comfortable together in that sphere, and they'll both cry at whatever. But like, I don't know, like someone like me, if I come on, if I'm like hampering him in some way from getting like too connected to it. I don't know. This is something I always worry about. I'm paranoid about. Because I know with some people, with some dynamics that you like to joke off your partner and stuff like that, and I don't know. But yeah, sometimes I think I could tell when you weren't enjoying Titans or certain Arrowverse stuff. Yeah, I would imagine so. Shazam's just Shazam to become Shazam and Shazam. Spoilers. Thought of a role for Sienna in the movie, but I feel bad for killing him off in another movie, Multiverse Fall. Dude, screw your ISP. I'm pushing back, man. I mean, I got my Better Business Bureau ticket open, and I'm not letting this die until they're basically like, whatever. So like, I don't know. I've got a meeting just call with the guy from the ISP who's assigned to my case that I need to schedule for this week to talk shit out because we're not connecting in the same way, apparently. If you want one season, come to California. Yeah, man, but that rent. I mean, I'm thinking about it. I've honestly been considering it. But like the rent is the biggest obstacle, man. The rent is insane out there. If you want to move somewhere that has only one season, you should move to Willow. I was like, wait, what? I was a little confused for a second. I was like, the tree? Oh my God, you mad lad, dude, Coyote, you're too soon. Not really. We all knew it was coming. I could see you as a Seattle guy. There's a lot of rain in Seattle, though, isn't there? Maybe. It's not too far from Vancouver. I mean, it's a state away. Like, there's all of Washington between there and there, but like, it would be a one connect flight, though. Fiber is important for your healthy living. Yes. Yeah, it's very true. The older you get, the more important fiber becomes. Make sure you have your daily dose of fiber. Yep. I moved out of where I am now. I'd want to move to Atlanta or Chicago, and that's with the assumption I could move to Europe. I couldn't move to Europe with a much more walkable city. That's also accurate. In Shazam 1, Billy never learned who Silvano is, did he? He never knew his name. I don't think so. I don't think he ever did learn his name. Who's my favorite Batman villain, and which version is the best, and why to both answers? I would say Joker, just because he's just the quintessential Batman villain. I think he encompasses everything that Batman is not. There's a lot of villains that I really love, but Joker is just the Joker, man. It's hard to really kind of go about that in a different way. But my favorite version of the Joker that we've seen is, I mean, if we're talking like everything, it's going to be Mark Hamill's Joker on the animated series. I just think that's the perfect encapsulation of the insanity of the Joker, the funness of the Joker, but also the demented nature, because he can get pretty dark in the show, man. Even with the limitations that they had. If we're talking live action, I think it's just easily Heath Ledger. Man, I don't know. The chaotic nature of the Joker and his humor and the performance, I think it just sells it all too well. I played Jedi Fallen Order on hard and thought it was way too easy, but maybe because the game I played and beat right before that was Elden Ring. Maybe that had something to do with it. I played it the first time on normal, and it's very Soulsy. That's for sure. Like, it's wholly Soulsy inspired. Which I hadn't played any of the Souls games until after I played Jedi Fallen Order. But I think the thing that made Jedi Fallen Order, I think, hard, and while it's the controls were very clunky. Like, it was a first-person shooter company making a action game for the first time, a third-person action game for the first time. And I think they did a pretty good job, but the controls were massively clunky. Like, the block timing was not right. Like, there was a massive delay in a lot of the animations, and maybe they patched it out eventually after I had played it, but like when I was playing it, I found the combat extremely clunky. I got used to it, but it was way smoother and prettier in other games, and that's one of the things I hope they kind of ironed out a little bit in this installment. Playing on super easy. Well, that's what you gotta do. I mean, go for it. I mean, the story is the best thing to experience. Play it to have fun. Like, I'm not one of those, I'll pretty much default a game to normal most times, and that's just where I'll play. There's very few games where I'm like, I want to go into this for the challenge and whatnot. But like, yeah, just play for fun, whatever mode works for you. Whatever gets you the story. And then it went to shit. And all of those talk about work. And then that went to shit. Yep. Sorry I'm late. Love seeing the tea. Or loving the tea. Yeah. Saw this a hot topic and I was like, gotta grab it. What's been my favorite part of Disney Star Wars? CW doesn't count because most of it was before Disney. Oh, Clone Wars. I was like, CW, what? Mando. The Luke Skywalker scene. Mostly Mando, I would say. If you were in trouble, would you rather accept immediate help from someone in Star Wars, in a Star Wars shirt, or a Star Trek shirt? Star Wars, just because we could talk. We could probably talk about it. I don't know if I could get along with the Star Trek guy. I don't know enough. Not that I'm not against it or anything, but my Star Trek knowledge is not all that vast. And I feel like Trekkies might not be as equipped for certain situations. That's a generalization. That's a nerd situation. So like, if I needed immediate help, I don't think that'll matter. But I don't know. Your dad's fan, your dad's fan is probably going to be a Star Trek fan. So like, they might know how to get you out of that situation. So I might not be rebutting on that. I don't know. I'm going to stand by Star Wars. I'll stay in my cult. I'm going to go, Omni. Hope you have a great week. Can't wait to spoil John Wick on stream. He kills a fuckload of people. Take care. Later, man. Can't stand the bully stuff in Shazam 1. I've been bullying myself, and watching it doesn't entertain me. I mean, you're not supposed to be entertained by the bully stuff. That's why bullies exist. To be adversarial. To be something to overcome. And I've been bullied a lot growing up as a kid. A lot. Since you'll be turning 35 soon, it's only a hop, skip, and a jump to 40. And fuck you for reminding me of that. But you're right. There was an editorial about millennials not having midlife crisis. If you were going to have one, what would it look like? Oh, I feel like I've been living that. At least, like, since 32. I feel like I've been diving in and out of that here and there. I feel like I experience it in spurts. But I don't know. I'm already a person who worries way too much about stuff. So, yeah, it's a lot of just sitting in quiet, doing nothing, contemplating what I'm doing with my life. Yeah, it was awful. Most of the new hires were dumb as shit. God, yes, they were. And half of them didn't last. And hell, if you didn't pick things up, my client would remove you from their campaign. They were like, we don't want them talking to our customers. And that happened a fair amount, actually. Which never happened until the change in ownership. I really enjoy being a teacher. However, I'm getting up there in age and would love to transition into something remote. I take that back. Seth got removed. Seth got removed before. Oh yeah, the second changing ownership the second time. I take that back. My buddy Seth got removed from it like when I started. He was already off of it by the time I started, so it's not unheard of, I guess, but it became way more common after the fact. Let's see. Where was I? I really enjoy being a teacher, however, I'm getting up there in age and would love to transition into something remote. Hell yeah. I thought of a role for my friend Emma. I will try not to say the name of certain yeah. I mean, I've thought about it. I was like, should I ever wear the shirt I got? Because I still have it. It's such a nice shirt, though. One of the things that I told a nurse student, many others, is that every experience is a learning one. Bad experiences show us how to do better. Good experiences reinforces good behavior. Exactly. Yeah, the freezer bar, hot dog shop, the ice cream shop. Yeah. Subtle. Yeah, I don't know. Anybody picking up what I was laying down? One of the things that I really appreciate in Superman and Lois is John Henry Irons and Clark's friendship. Even though John Henry Irons was once married to an alt Lois, and it's ripe for cheap drama, John Henry Irons is so mature about how he views things. I know, that easily could have went down like the gutter trash CW normal route, and they've avoided that at every turn, and I love that about the show. The show and the way it handles its relationships is so... It's way more mature than anything on the CW that I've ever seen. That's one thing I will always give it props for. There's one thing like that in London where you use a password to get into a hidden room behind a fridge door. It's a very similar thing, though there wasn't a password. You just had to go in there, they checked your ID, and you went through this big old metal fridge door into what was a gamer bar with a bunch of arcade games and game-themed drinks and stuff like that, and stuff on the TVs, movies and stuff. It was a lot of fun. It was very cramped. It wasn't a huge place, but it was still fun. If you ever make it to SF, there's a speakeasy called Bourbon and Branch, where you get the password from online before you go. Oh, that's interesting. Are there any other reactors in your city? Not that I know of. None that I know of. I don't know of any other West Virginia reactors, to be honest. New Orleans is one season and laid back. Cool. How do you think the Bad Batch Season 2 ends? Good or bad? I'm hoping good, but I don't know. I think they'll capture Omega, and maybe they'll get the DNA from her that they need, and then, I don't know. They're not getting out of there scot-free, man. There's no way. I don't know, though. Because we all know it's gotta go somewhere. They can't stop this operation. If anything, they will just further along what's already happening. So I'm gonna lean bad. I know everybody loves the Joker, but do you think he's overused? I feel like every person has to do a Joker story, but at some points, it just diminishes the character a little. I do think he's overused. I think there has been an over-reliance on the Joker in recent years. I'll admit to that. I've watched Eternals for the second time today. It's been a long while, and I liked it better this time around. I liked it a lot the first time. I liked it more the second time I watched it as well, but yeah. I'm glad people are kind of coming around on it. We don't suffer midlife crisis. We just have permanent life crisis. That's another thing. I just feel like whatever trauma I have at the moment is only going to be compounded the more things happen. 43 in 3 weeks, you'll be fine. Fair enough. Fair enough. It's an expensive as shit, so you might as well wear it. That is true. It was like a $60 polo, dude. God, it's a nice polo. But Superman Lois came on last week. I was genuinely so happy. Me too. When in crisis, you gotta remember all things must pass by George Harrison. Literally, good as well as bad shall pass on to the next thing. That is very, very true. things hit me, I just try to let it wash over as much as I can. But there's times where it just kind of lingers around a little bit. New Orleans is 2 seasons. Hurricane season is not hurricane season. Hurricane season and not hurricane season. And it's below sea level. I love that city, and there's a lot of extended family there, but I'd never stay more than a week. Yeah, the below sea level part is the thing that terrifies me about that. I am terrified of the ocean. So like coastal places are already like big old danger zone for me. How being in the mountains, or at least in the valleys where I am, there's no way in hell, even with global warming and the melting of the ice caps, that I'm pretty sure I'm safe at our elevation. But yeah, this week's episode of Bad Batch, that was a little triggery there though. Also with Knock at the Cabin, 2 tsunami things that I've watched in the last couple of weeks. You think Gideon will go after Grogu again? Maybe for his blood. Oh yeah, 1000%. He ain't letting that kid go if he can avoid it. Eternals is a banger. I never understood the hate. Like, I understand it not being for everybody, but it did get a lot more hate than I expected it to. All right, guys, we are 30 minutes over. We're pretty much caught up. We got some straggler questions here that I'm waiting to load on over, but I'll get those in, and we'll probably call it at that, guys. Thank you all. Yeah, the bar behind the fridge, you have to ask to speak to the mayor of Scaredy Cat Town. What the hell? That's kind of funny. That's cute, though. That's interesting. What's the theme? Saw your Die Hard reaction yesterday. I'm still shocked that was your first time. Would you ever do Die Hard 2 and 3? I've definitely been thinking about it. I do want to watch the rest of them. And likewise, I still want to watch maybe the second Gremlins movie as well. There's a couple movies I've done as like one-offs that I definitely want to continue the rest of the series. And I'll get to them eventually. It's just it's a mood thing and a timing thing. But I do plan on it. Yeah, Die Hard was just never one of those movies. My roommates, who were best buddies of mine from like middle school, whatever, in college, we all went to college. And I remember there was one night they were all trying really hard to get me to watch Die Hard. I just wasn't in the mood, man. I don't know why. I was like, this is Grandpa's action movie or some shit. I don't know what was up my ass. I just did not give a shit. They put it on, and I was just playing games on my computer. I watched like 10 minutes of it, I think, and then I stopped paying attention and just went back to my game. I kind of gave... Has Superman and Lois improved over Season 1? I watched during Season 1. It kind of fell off, but I'm looking for more Superman content. Just hoping it didn't devolve in The Flash. I think Season 2 is a step down from Season 1, but it's still really good. It's still above anything going on in The Flash right now. As far as quality with the writing and whatnot. The villain's not as interesting as Season 1. There's a lot of things that are handled a little more poorly than Season 1, but it's still a really solid season overall. It's not as strong as that first season. Season 3, we're only 1 episode in right now. I think it was a great pilot, but we'll see. We shall see. One day I want to watch you stream Subnautica, as what my roommate calls it, Thalassophobia the game. Yeah, I mean, I've watched people play it, and there are times where it does give me the willies. But, I don't know. Games even used to bother me a lot, and it used to get real bad, but like, water levels in certain games, mostly if it's dark water. Like if it's like clear or whatever, usually it doesn't bother me. So if this is like Caribbean water or something like that, I'm more okay with that. But if it's like the Pacific or Atlantic Ocean where it's just like you can't see shit past your ear, like I ain't about that life, dude. Like first time I watched Castaway, I had a panic attack when the whales showed up, dude. Legit. There's sometimes, even as of late, some of the river locations here, if you take like the back roads and stuff, like if it rains a lot, the rivers will get pretty high and they get real close to the roads. And Barry could attest to this. Like I was driving through one place here, it was dark, So like the road and the water was almost the same color and they weren't that far away from each other. I was like, yeah, I just want to get the fuck out of here right now. There's one bridge not too far from here that if it rains a lot will be underwater sometimes. And I'm just like, I fuck that, dude. I can't. My parents once, we went to the beach and they dragged me on like a, like one of those like little like tourist boat things. They take you out in the water. They see all the dolphins hopping through and stuff. And it was a cast over windy day. Of all days, they decided to do this. And on top of this, it has a glass fucking bottom. Why? Why would you do that? Why would you put a glass bottom on a boat? I will tell you, I was not having a good time. The waves were rocking that boat. Like if I was hanging on the edge, like and reaching my arm out, the boat was swaying so much, I could have skidded my hand across the top of the water, dude. It was not a good time. Oh God, I hate it. Great stream. Thanks, Omni. Thank you. That was a long Instagram scroll, but it was much about the journey as the discovery and totally even know I'm right there, but that's okay. But I totally don't even know if I'm right, but that's okay. Oh, did you actually go through my Instagram stuff to see if you could find that shit? Fun. I'm afraid that information is classified. Love the Superman Lois moments of romance between Lois and Clark. They're great. They're a great couple. She saved Jasmine Savoy Brown. Skip Die Hard 2, 3. Skip Hard Die Hard 2. 3 and 4 is good. 5 is also a skip. Don't watch the franchise. I'm not going to skip it, man. Made it through all the Rocky stuff, man. So I'm not. If I start something, I'll watch all the entries. I say that, but I've still never watched Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. I need to do a reaction for that. Because it didn't have Michael Myers, I never watched it. Since it was non-canon to the rest of the franchise, I've never watched it. It's the only Halloween movie I've never seen. I need to watch that eventually. I think it's the only time where I haven't been the completionist. No. That is terrifying. Officially spooked. As understandably so. And indeed would be proud to work there too. Yeah, man. They were great. I haven't talked to any of them in a long time, but some of the guys I worked with over there, like worked through, like they were my correspondents. They were great guys, man. Hope you guys have a lovely dinner and enjoy the rest of the week. Hope you all do too. Thanks everybody for hanging out, tuning in. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video, or I'll see you guys next week or the next stream. Hope everybody takes care, has a great weekend, great week. I'll see you all in the next one. Take care. If you haven't already liked this video, like this video.